Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to another live stream of Hearthstone. We are playing here and trying to stream, having internet trouble. Today is Saturday, July 29th. Glad that it's not Sunday, because Sundays are always so slow. We're discussing how I air. Red Phoenix would prefer if my videos weren't an hour long. He wants 30-minute videos. He's asking, what about recording an hour, then editing the 30 minutes and making it higher quality? At that point, if I do that, I need to play too. We need to play Murlocs. If I do that, I've completely changed my channel, and all 5,000 of my previous videos are now completely different. Because I've been selling myself as a no edits, beginning to end let's player, long player. I want that full footage out there, so I don't think I would do that as the main content. I would potentially if I had an editor, and that's the problem, is if I was going to do that, I almost have to have somebody I'm paying to work for me for at least 40 to 60 hours a week, editing film and doing that. It also pretty much changes how I would do commentary, and I'm not sure exactly how I would do it, because a lot of the people that edit talk over the footage, and they write they write down what they want to say, and they come from more of a written journalism, video game critic side. And since that's not where I come from, since everything I'm saying is just off the top of my head, that really wouldn't work for me personally. I've noticed in my life, writing anything down, scripting anything, never works. I never do it. I'm far too spontaneous. I don't write. I literally don't write scripts. So yeah, maybe if my channel gets very big, that is one of the things. I would hire an artist to do thumbnails. I would hire an editor to edit things down and do clips. But kind of how you might have noticed that some people do the long plays on Twitch and stream the whole time, and then they put clips on YouTube. That I just imagine my channel is the long play Twitch version of it, and I very possibly would make a second channel once I was big enough to need to do that, of just clips. To do that, so that's not happening anytime soon. Why don't you just edit yourself, asked Alexis? Because it takes too much time. It takes way more time than you think. You literally will take anywhere between 2 to 8 hours to make a 10 to 30 minute video, just doing take after take after take, if you're trying to do it right. Even if you don't care about the quality in that aspect, and just take a 1 hour long straight run playthrough for a game, you're still going to end up spending 6 hours of editing it, because it's just over and over again. The only editing I do right now is I edit out these live streams. I edit them down into sections and cut out the beginning and the end, and even doing that takes me about 3 hours. So a 3 to 5 hour playthrough of a day's worth of streaming of Hearthstone takes me another 3 hours to edit. And it's just not something. It's not something one person can do. It's beyond realistic. If somebody is playing and editing themselves, they are not playing video games very much, and they are not putting out very much content. And when I started this channel, it was very much, if you can't do it in good quality, just do it in quantity. It's always been quantity over quality. And it kind of has to be. My very first videos were way worse. I'm getting better, but editing's just kind of out of the question right now. Not until I can afford to do it. And then Alexis asked earlier, do you think it's okay to spend money on Candy Crush? No, it's not. You are literally a bad person for spending money on Candy Crush. I'm joking. Don't spend money on Candy Crush. I will listen to arguments for many games like that, mobile games where you spend money on them. But Candy Crush in specific has been proven to cheat, and it gets harder when you spend your money. So it's simply not something you should spend money on. It's a ripoff. It's a scam. It should be illegal. It possibly is illegal, what they do. So don't spend money on that. If anybody wants to get into editing and see just how incredibly difficult it is, the software that I would use, let's see if I even have it still installed, is called, not GIMP, not Blender, is it? It actually might be Blender. Like, the software I would try to use would be Blender, which is totally the wrong software to use to edit video. But it's kind of also the only software that I can think of right now at the time that is free. And Blender is an incredibly overpowered and too complicated software to use. There is a software called MP4 Splitter that does rudimentarily edits, in which you can split videos into two parts without having to re-encode them, which the encoding when you edit things takes all night too. It's really crazy. And honestly, it doesn't, I don't think it serves my thing. Anyways, moving on. Back to news. BBC 3, if you're in the UK, will be airing the G Infinity Elite League series of esports over the next 6 weeks. So Street Fighter 5, Counter-Strike Go, Global Offensive, and Rocket League matches will be aired for 4 hours on the weekends. So if you can get BBC 3, that's interesting. It's the first time BBC has aired esports. I think ESPN has been airing a couple of them for a while. This gameplay I won last time, but I was supposed to play more things. The right video editing software would be to use Adobe Premiere, or I think there's a different one, Sony Vegas. Those are the two major ones, and both of those softwares cost a lot of money.
The light protects me.
Red Phoenix says Doctor Who is awesome. Yeah. I'm not gonna bother to disagree with that. When it is awesome, it is awesome. I haven't seen like the last 2 seasons. My main issue with Doctor Who is the fact that it airs far too sporadically. Like, I was paying for cable to have BBC America just to watch Doctor Who, and then Doctor Who didn't air for a year straight. There is, I would argue, a decaying love of Doctor Who the further and further you get away from it. So if you do love Doctor Who, watch the reruns, love the show as much as possible. Because as soon as you start to get away from it and look at it in a more critical eye, you realize that it is just a kid's show, and it's pretty repetitive, and nothing that ever happens is ever that important. It's always building up to this big thing that just reboots and resets. But overall, that's it is what it is, and it is beloved by many. So it's kind of the same way as Star Wars and Star Trek. Is the further and further you get away from loving Star Wars and Star Trek, and the more you look at it critically, you can dissect like the Next Generation, which is probably my favorite Star Wars series, to death. You can say, well, that first season kind of sucked, and then there was a lot of filler episodes later on, and it gets good in this episode, but then the next episode really doesn't matter. There's just a ton of that can happen. I kind of wish Doctor Who was a better written movie series like James Bond, but they kind of tried that too, where they had for one season they had like 6 episodes that were 2 hours long, and that just kind of led to the other problem of there being a lack of consistently seen episodes out there. Forget this, I'm deleting Candy Crush. Well, that'll be my good day for the deed for the day if you do. You're making the right decision. Rip that band-aid off. Now, I play Clash Royale, but I play it free. I don't spend any money on it. And if you just play that consistently, that's pretty good. Or if you want a puzzle matcher, there's Tower of Saviors or Puzzles and Dragons. There's better games out there than Candy Crush. Games that you can get away with just wasting your time on without spending money. The Night Trap 25th Anniversary Edition is coming out August 15th. Another game I'd like to play. I hope they do a better job than it looks like they're going to do, because it kind of just feels like they're re-releasing an updated version of the old game with a frame around the 4x3 screen, which might be the best that they can do. I'm hoping that there's like a zoom, maybe a zoom and pan and scan on it. Red Phoenix says, like Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft is not free to begin with. I don't think you can get it for free anyway, but you can get a lot of fun out of it. Certainly if you're playing it on PC too, and you can download all of those maps and find all those maps, and use the Feed the Beast launcher to do Sky Factory and all of that. I certainly had a lot of fun with Minecraft for a while. Eventually I kind of just burned out of it, or just didn't have time for it. I do want to actually go back and do a little bit more Minecraft at some point, but it's just low on the priority list.
Turn to get ready.
Tencent has acquired 9% stake in Elite Dangerous for $23.1 million. Tencent is the Chinese video game company that is slowly buying more and more. I think they own Dota. Not very video game related, but I have noticed that Twitter had a bad month. They really didn't grow an audience, so they may very well be saturated. I personally had to went through all my Twitter people I follow and did a culling, getting rid of some of the people that I've didn't want to follow. Like DX Racer is a great example. I was following them thinking maybe eventually they'd give away a DX Racer chair. They never do. I followed them for a year. They never retweeted anybody else that was giving one away, and they don't give away any. So, and that was the only reason I was following them on Twitter, and they were filling up my Twitter feed. The way Twitter works is crazy because if you the lag is real, says Red Phoenix. Yeah, it sucks. I literally can't do anything about it. So, yeah, sorry about the lag. But if you follow too many people on Twitter, you won't see some of the tweets. And Twitter is all built around this concept of seeing things that are happening now, but missing all of the things that aren't there, and that just kind of sucks. Like, that is fully developing a fear of missing out. The FOMO syndrome, as the kids use that phrase really, really badly, and it's just designed there to make you go back to Twitter and see potentially more ads, which I'm not looking at anyways because I got an ad blocker on it. So yeah, unlike it's like the new version that Facebook installed where you can't see things in chronological order, or they show you only things that they think you're interested in, and that works if you're following 1,000 people and you equally value every person's post. But in the real world, where you want to see everything and you're only following a moderate amount or a small amount of people, you want to see everything that was posted. You want to see how it went. What's the FOMO syndrome? Fear of missing out. FOMO. I probably didn't pronounce it too well there. Said.
Job's done.
Yeah, so Twitter's not satisfying me. I'll stick with it, and certainly it helps me tell people when my videos are available, but even that hasn't been working greatly lately. Some of my videos come out and it just won't put a video on them. So it'll be a link, but no picture. And that is very easy to overlook. Let's see. There was an uproar for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which, man, a lot of the video game critics are big into that, because apparently somebody was trying to play a streamer, and the data backs this up. They were going into lobbies, coming out of lobbies, going into lobbies, coming to lobbies, which is what somebody would try to do on a game like that if they were trying to play the streamer. And I'm getting this story secondhand, but what I imagine happened after that point is they played too well and they killed that streamer, and that streamer accused him of screen sniping. Now, with all the lag you see right now, nobody could possibly stream snipe anybody on YouTube, at least from my setup. Like, if somebody was playing me, they could try to stream snipe, and frankly, I wouldn't care. Like, that's the danger I have to accept by streaming my video online. It's just gonna happen. If people want to do that, so what? Let them. At least it's a fan of mine that's stream sniping me. I would be almost honored if somebody was doing that. But this streamer didn't feel that way, and I think he's wrong. And so he whined and complained, and because he is a big streamer, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds banned the little guy. Alexis asks, do I think YouTube will be here in 5 years? Something like YouTube, by the name of YouTube, will definitely be here in the next 5 years. Will it be completely different from what it is now? Very possibly. But Alphabet, Google, whatever its name, will not get rid of YouTube as a name. It's too valuable of a thing. YouTube has already very much changed. It is incredibly difficult now to start a new channel, get subscribers, unlock all the abilities that the older streamers have. But remember, MySpace still exists right now. In fact, there was an article saying that the MySpace security is very, very bad. So if you're using a password for MySpace that is similar to any of your other passwords, you need to stop that immediately and change all your passwords that aren't, so that they're different for every website. Because all they have to do is guess your birthday, and they can go through a recovery form and get access to your old MySpace account. So also maybe go back to MySpace and see if you can delete your account. But yeah, that'll be here. But yeah, the PlayerUnknown Battleground, they should have not banned this person, clearly, in my opinion. It would have been so easy for them to say, we're in beta, we're still working on it, we're not going to ban anybody for something like this. Instead, they came back and said that they looked at the data, and because our data says that this guy was coming in and out of lobbies, the only thing we can possibly imagine is that he was trying to stream snipe. And that is just a stupid doubling down on a decision that they shouldn't have made. Because I literally just told you a reason why somebody would come in and out of lobbies. Because they want to play the streamer. Because they like the streamer. And they did play the streamer, and the streamer is now complaining that he lost to them. Which, there's no reason to complain. If you're streaming and talking and commenting, you're going to be a worse player. It's just going to happen. So, I think the controversy is valid, and this is a dangerous precedent for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds to set, because if you bought that game and you're happy with that game, now you have to be afraid, are you going to get banned for some other ridiculous reason? Like, anytime your game gets popular, you basically need a PR team to tell you how to make decisions like this. Ban somebody if you can prove they're cheating. If you can't prove them they're cheating, leave them alone. That's the cat and mouse game that it has always been. Prove it or leave them alone.
The battle.
I don't know why all these. Alexis says, what did he say? You put one letter. S. Didn't mean to send that. Okay. Alright. Innocent. Yeah, just innocent until proven guilty. If you can't prove somebody guilty, innocent until proven guilty. It's what the United States says all the time and doesn't actually believe. But the truth is, it's the only way to have any kind of justice in the world. Moving on to the next story, Blizzard is retooling Overwatch's reporting system based on players' feedback. I hope that's gonna turn out to be a good thing, one would hope.
Reporting for duty. Job's done.
Dota now is Dota 2 in the next story. We're almost done with it. Will now match new players with high behavior scoring players. So apparently in Dota 2, there's a behavior score that they monitor on players, and if you have a high score and you're a good boy, I suppose, they match you with new players. So you'll either then be playing with new players that are going to play right, or new players that are going to be playing very badly and irritate you, or new players that are going to be trying to cheat and irritating you. So it's good for new players if you're going to be a good new player. It's bad for new players if it's bad for the old players that play well. But maybe they'll figure that out and that'll work. It's what you would hope to do, and I suppose it's a different way of saying we're going to just sequester all of the bad players out completely. That there will be no more bad players allowed to play anybody but other bad players. Let's see.
That minion already attacked.
This is gonna do 2 damage if I play it.
Hey, catch!
There we go. There are more Japanese cell phone games coming out. I didn't bother to write them down because they probably won't come to the West, but there's a Bleach cell phone game was one of them, which is it's kind of late for Bleach. Like that TV series I think has not been airing for at least a couple seasons. I have here a note: my internet service provider sucks. I don't think I need to re-mention that. In adding insult to injury, the Mighty No. 9 Kickstarter fulfilled its real-world box art and manual perk in a horrible way. Alexa says you won the game. Yay. That's right. Yep. I can actually win sometimes. Who would have guessed? So the box for Mighty No. 9 comes flat and you have to assemble it. And when you get it, the manual doesn't even fit inside of it. I imagine what happened here is they went to some really, really cheap, bad Chinese, or I don't even know, maybe straight up North Korean manufacturer to make the manual, and then they went to a bad cardboard company that was different to make the box, and they got the measurements completely wrong, or they just don't care and they expected you to fold your manual that you paid extra for in half and put a crease in it just to fit in a box. It doesn't even have a real world game to put it in. I don't think. Don't worry, Alexis will start losing here in a second, because I'm going over to the European and Asian accounts. So Mighty No. 9, this game sucks. Its Kickstarter was done awfully. I would never trust anything that the creator of Mighty No. 9, and who was also, I think, one of the persons that worked on second turn. Can you win? I don't think you can win this way. We'll see. I wouldn't trust anything he ever has to sell. He seems like a completely incapable of running a business and making a product that's good and doing that. So whoever was in charge of it, everybody that was in charge of Mighty No. 9, Mega Man succeeded despite them, in spite of them, not because of them, it would be my guess. Also, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Key and Crate DLC is irritating people because it's early access, it's greedy. Like, that game got really popular, and then they're just ruining all of their fan love. I think people are going to fall off of it hard. They're going to keep making the wrong choices. They're going to make odd decisions. Oh, it's my turn. I didn't realize that. And so that's it for my news. So we can just focus. Let's see. Alexa says, I don't know why, but I have a feeling you're going to lose. Just because you've seen me capable of losing in a situation exactly like this?
You require my assistance?
Well, let's see if he can do this.
Aha!
He may very well win. It depends on, can he spend enough to do fire blasts. Yes, he can, because they're free. Well played.
Well played.
Well played indeed. That is such a late game strategy, though. No cards left at all. Had to play duplicate to have 4 of these several times. But whatever. In the end, I got my daily quest done. And we will think about arena runs later. Like, there's still a reason to play an arena run, and we might do it specifically on the Americas account, but I'm not gonna do arena runs on the others, for sure. Alexa says, I knew it! I imagine he says it directly as the voice of the character. You always lose like that. Always is a generalization.
Come tell us a story or two.
In the strategy of arguing, and debating, I would say, don't say always, give specific examples, or limit yourself. So if anybody's online, I have a challenge a friend quest here that either I need to get rid of, or I need to get rid of this. I'm going to keep the challenge a friend. I had a watch and learn one, but I need to play mage against people. Mage, ranked, standard, play. Like, I played Hearthstone for a long time and fell out of it for a couple of months specifically because I was losing all the time like that. And it's very easy to fall out of love with Hearthstone the way it's set up now. It's gotten better, I think, than it used to be, but man, do you really need some patience with it sometimes. That last guy won because he defeated my Murloc strategy, which is a simple strategy of just winning quickly before they're able to play cards, and almost any taunt, almost any defense at all to stop me from playing a bunch of Murlocs will defeat the Murloc deck. But if they get unlucky, which often happens, they will lose. Let's go ahead and play this now. Let's see how this breaks down. That works fine. I got this game on my phone called Looper, which is just a simple puzzle game. but I'm thinking I'm gonna probably give up playing that. It's just got too many puzzles. I've done about 140 of them, and they're all pretty much the same over and over again. I expected to finish at 100. If I had finished at 100, I would have been fine, and then I would have said make the rest Looper 2. But 150, maybe I'll get up to 150 and see if that's the maximum. Oddly, in puzzle games, there really is such as too much. I think that's kind of why things like Mario Kart and Mario Party are better to be annual releases with different tracks and things than to try to combine it and have just Mario Kart with a bunch of DLC every year. Although, in all honesty, it would be nice if they just brought back tracks from the previous games and it just got larger and larger, but then it wouldn't make any sense if the next Mario Kart came out and there was 100 tracks but only 12 of them were new. That's something you'd more expect from a real racing game. So it must not be anything my internet is doing, because, like, well, it's not anything my computers are doing unless my computers actually are downloading a Windows update in the background. Which I didn't check that. I couldn't find it. Let's see. Update. Check for update system. Device last checked today at noon. It's up to date. Like that Windows creators update is here. Jaina is so annoying. So I was thinking, instead of 1/1 sheeps, if I was to make a card, maybe I should do any card that is 1 attack and 1 health specifically. So no 0/2s. If there was more than 8 on the field, maybe you trigger it that way. Have a card that says you win that. Because then the Paladin has this equality card that gives everybody 1 health, and then there might be another card that the Paladin has that gives everything 1 attack. So there could be like a 3-card combination to win the game immediately by having 8 1/1 characters, minions on the field, which would mean you'd have to have at least 7 here and 1 here, or 4 here and 4 here. Make it so you have to both affect your own characters and the other characters. That way you can't just play a bunch of minions that are 1/1. And then you could take that same idea and say if there was 8 2/2s, you win, and it would cost a little less mana. Or 8 9/9s, you win, and that costs 0 mana. And so you could even go crazy and say, if there are 8 1/1 characters on the minions on the field, you win in 5 turns, and put a timer on it. That would drive people crazy. Certainly. Let's bring back the... Why is that not showing? Because I have to click here, that's why. this.
Taste my steel.
So, let me look at the calendar here, now that I'm done with the news. Let's see, calendar. Today's the 29th, the 31st. So, I wouldn't be surprised if on the 31st of this Monday, they came out with the new expansion, or Tuesday on the 1st, they come out with the new expansion. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. The last chance to get the Humble Telltale bundle, according to my email.
I wonder.
I did something to my server in an update where it fixed something that I thought I never got working in the first place. I had set it up to forward messages to my email whenever the server had like a big error that it was supposed to tell me. What's an expansion? What does it do? Says Alexis. Oh, it's when the new card packs, the Frozen Throne, is coming out. It's when we, for me, it means we'll make one video in which we look at all the cards. No, actually, that's not true at all. We will make one video for each character, so there will be a live stream of, well, I will break it up into videos later. There will be a live stream where I look at all the new mage cards for the Frozen Throne expansion packs, all of the new Paladin, Warlock, all 9 of them, and then all of the common cards. And so that'll be 10 videos that I'll record in one long day. And after I look at all of those cards, I will make new strategies and new decks on the fly for me to play on my America's account. There's no real reason to do it. Also, of course, in between making new decks, I will have to have those new cards, so there will be a 50 card plus card pack opening. I plan on buying 100 card packs. I'm not sure if all of those are going to be the new expansion or if some of those are going to be the old expansions, and they may not actually unlock the old expansions at the same time, so I may just save that for later. So we'll do the card pack opening, and then we'll do what I call deck rebuild videos, and there will be a mage deck rebuild and a mage a druid deck rebuild video, and so on and so on. Let's see, I don't think I'm gonna win here at this rate. The expansion in this case is going to be more cards that you get through card packs. The other kinds of expansion, if they ever do it again, are the solo expansions where you go through a storyline and can unlock specific cards. We've got a new person on here, I think, typing in Russian. English only, please. I don't know what you're saying. So I don't have any way of responding to it.
I wonder.
Let's see.
Job's done.
You were winning. Well, yeah, the losses are going to come a lot quicker playing on the brand new accounts. I don't know if this person is typing in English or if they're
They'll never know
just typing in gibberish. Well, if they put one more thing that I can't understand, I'm gonna ban them. Just that simple. They're violating the rule whether they know it or not. If they can't understand English only, I can't accommodate them.
Job done.
I'm not sure I actually need to win with the mage, though. So I may still be getting the daily quest done. But I desperately need to challenge a friend. Play 50 mage class cards. I think I'm gonna have to make a special mage class cards. And win 5 games. Ooh. Let's see. Okay. On the chat, they say they wrote something, repeat please, and then a phrase in Russian that they want me to say. And no, I'm not going to repeat what they say. In fact, I'm just going to block them. And take them all out. Because I said if they put something that I don't understand a third time, I was going to block them. And they put something I don't understand. Whatever that phrase was, I don't know if that's the nuclear launch code or if it's Hail Putin or what, but I'm not going to say something I don't know. I desperately, if anybody's on the European account, please hop on here. That's going to be it for this recording, though. Everybody else, stay tuned if you're watching live. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.